What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, man. You guys already know what we do here, man. We break down scary and creepy videos, man. Viral videos on the net, man. From TikToks to IG videos to YouTube videos. Anything bizarre and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. Got a good one for you guys today, man. Let's dive on in.
Some of you guys wanted more context on this case after I made this video, so don't worry, I read about this case so you don't have to. So this is Seth Welsh and Tatiana Fusari, and they're conservative Christian parents from Michigan who in 2018 let their 10-month-old daughter starve to death, and apparently didn't think there would be any consequences for that. In a pretty ridiculous 911 call, Tatiana called 911 at 10 a.m. the morning after she put her daughter down at 3:30 p.m., saying that she was unresponsive and she thought she was dead. But she also tells the 911 operator that she called her lawyer before calling the 911 operator.
Weird.
Which is so sus. Also, who puts their baby down at 3:30 p.m. and doesn't check on them until 10 o'clock the next morning? Seth, the dad, also was notorious for believing in survival of the fittest. He didn't think that children should be vaccinated because he thought everyone that wasn't strong enough should die. And he apparently didn't think that his daughter would grow up to be strong enough to work on their farm and therefore wasn't feeding her. Tatiana knew something was wrong with her daughter, but she refused to call a doctor because she didn't trust the medical institution and for religious purposes. Anyways, both of them got life in prison, Seth without parole, and Tatiana has to do at least 25 years. Also, this is what their faces looked like when they found out that for starving a baby, you get life in prison.
Just look at that guy. He had a freaking shocked face like, what did you expect was gonna happen, man? Y'all starved the baby. You didn't think there'd be no consequences, man? Like, people like that, bro. It's just a freaking mystery to me how you could do, like, horrific acts, man. You just think there's going to be, like, no consequences to your actions. Like, somehow what you think was justified, bro. Goes to show you, man, how freaking crazy people are, bro. I guess sometimes when it comes to the babies, how they take it, like, a bit too far, as we saw in this case, man. Tell me what you guys think down below.
This is the real-life nurse Ratchet who murdered over 20 of her patients in cold blood. Here are terrifying serial killers you have never heard of. Part 1, Vicki Jackson. Nurse Vicki was a dedicated, caring medical professional with an excellent bedside manner until she snapped, killing an estimated 20 people in 1 year and attempting to murder 5 others. Between the years 2000 and 2001, hospital administrators noticed an unusually high mortality rate, but all the patients were kind of old, between 60 and 100, so their deaths were just chalked up to natural causes. Turns out they were all being poisoned by Nurse Vicki, and an internal investigation revealed that all 20 deaths occurred during the same daily shift, which was sus. Plus, several vials of the drug Mivacron, which is a muscle relaxer, had mysteriously gone missing. And spoiler alert, investigators found those vials at Vicki's house. Nurse Vicki would inject unsuspecting patients through their IV and just wait for the muscle relaxer to stop their breathing. The patients then tragically suffocated to death. And what's crazy is she actually knew a lot of these victims personally. Nurse Vicki worked at a small hospital in a small town, so some of the deceased were neighbors or even parents of some of her friends. She even killed her husband's grandfather and then reportedly went to the funeral and brought potato salad. And Vicki wasn't some sort of angel of mercy either, putting people out of their misery. One FBI agent testified that some of the people she killed had been hospitalized for really minor things like diarrhea or a sore foot. Now, Vicki was caught. She pleaded no contest to 10 capital murders and is incarcerated in Texas. She's up for parole in 2042.
Celebrities who won't.
It's freaking crazy, bro. How, like I said, she seemed like she said she was a good initial bedside man, and she just freaking snapped, bro. And she just took out all those freaking elderly people, man. They didn't really notice it until they just saw the spike, because they just thought since they were elderly, they just thought, oh, it's natural death, man. It just goes to show you, man, you never know. Always got to look into the details of something, man, because it'll reveal the hard, ugly truth, bro. And when she went to that guy's funeral, bro, that she knew, and she brought potato salad, I thought, did that horrific act, and you bring a potato salad to the funeral knowing that you was the cause of it, man. That's real, bro. It could be a truly evil place, man. Tell me what you guys think down below.
almost died on 9/11. Michael Jackson could have been among the dead if it wasn't for his mom. The singer had a meeting at the top of one of the skyscrapers the morning of September 11th, 2001, but he ended up oversleeping after staying up late to talk to his mom Catherine and sister Rebby on the phone. Mark Wahlberg was scheduled to fly on American Airlines Flight 11, which was the first plane that hit the World Trade Center. But at the last minute, he and his friends decided to change their plans and instead took another flight to a film festival in Toronto, Canada. Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane was also due to catch the same flight as Mark Wahlberg. However, he was hungover and overslept, and had been given the wrong departure time by his travel agent. So he ended up missing American Airlines Flight 11 by 15 minutes and was forced to wait for the next flight. And this series of events ended up saving his life.
It's the smallest things, man. Like I said, all those celebrities that was almost on that flight, bro. And it was the smallest things that freaking that just threw it off, and they wasn't a part of that tragedy, man. It's crazy, man, how sometimes you can think, man, it's just like the smallest things, bro. You never know that can end up saving your life, man. It's mind blowing to me sometimes.
Professor was just arrested for the possession of CP or CSAM. And if charges are officially filed, that will make him a pedophile professor. Meet James Andy Chang. So just yesterday, he was arrested on the University of Houston campus. Now, I live here in Houston, Texas, so this is kind of a local story for me, but if you don't know, the University of Houston is huge. There's over 45,000 students enrolled, and a number of them were taking mathematics classes from, you guessed it, James Andy Chang. Now, on campus, James was actually known by a number of people to be a very well-respected lecturer and a funny professor who was cracking jokes in class. But that all changed yesterday when he was arrested and brought in for questioning. Now, James hasn't been officially charged yet. They just arrested him on suspicion of the possession of CSAM or CP. But immediately, the university took action and suspended him. And he also works as a tutor here in Houston. Now, I really hope that he wasn't using that tutoring service to get close to young kids, but you never know with these sorts of people. Like I said before, I actually live here in Houston, so this story hits pretty close to home. But if there are any developments in this case, like when he gets charged and with what he gets charged, I'll be sure to update you guys here on TikTok.
Videos that see many.
It's freaking crazy, bro. He's a freaking professor, man. So, you know, he had probably a whole lot of access to these students, man. Like I say, he had a service, bro. And if we can take advantage of that, man, and freaking did a horrific act, bro. Like, how we had to understand a computer, something like that, man. Just a disgusting person, bro. Crazy, man. Tell me what you guys think about that case down below, bro. It hit home for him because he said he knew, I think he knew the professor or he knew the area, bro, so.
Innocent but have a disturbing backstory. This cheesy dating show from the 1970s shows Rodney Alcala winning a date with the female contestant. Rodney was believed to have killed up to 130 women and appeared on the dating show during his killing spree. Luckily for the female contestant, she didn't go on a date with Rodney as she felt he gave off a creepy vibe. This video shows Chris Watts pleading for the return of his missing pregnant wife and 2 young daughters. At the time of this interview, he had already killed his pregnant wife and 2 daughters and put their bodies in oil tanks. And at the end of the interview, he has asked this question.
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Like, bro, how could he go on live TV and freaking just say that message, knowing what he did, bro? Like I said previously, man, these people are freaking out of their minds, man. His own wife and kids, bro, like that freaking shit chills on my freaking spine, bro. And they had to find him like that, man. The police, bro, next day in freaking bed. I don't got too much to say on that one, man. You guys know the drill.
Times when psychics helped solve crimes. On May 15th, 1976, 14-year-old Susan Jacobson left her home to go to a job interview at an ice cream parlor, but she never came back. Susan's parents contacted the police, but the police said she probably just ran away with her boyfriend Dempsey Hawkins, and they refused to search for her. 2 weeks later, Susan's parents contacted a psychic, Dorothy Allison, to help with the case. Dorothy Dorothy asked what the word Mar meant, claiming she saw it in red spray paint. She also envisioned an abandoned car, dual church steeples, the smell of oil, and claimed that Susan had been strangled to death by her boyfriend. Then 2 years later, 3 boys stumbled across Susan's body as they were hunting. At the site was the word Mar spray painted in red on a rock, dual church steeples, an abandoned car, and 2 oil drums which contained Susan's body. Plus, evidence at the scene showed that Susan had been strangled by her boyfriend Dempsey Hawkins, who was then sentenced to 22 years to life in prison.
A YouTuber.
She knew, bro. The freaking psychics and stuff, man. Like I said, sometimes I'm iffy on that. I don't know. I really believe in psychics, but she helped crack the case wide open, man. Even after the police just said she was with their boyfriend, and so they wasn't gonna link into it. Man, that's freaking really creepy and weird, bro. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below, guys. Do you guys believe in psychics and things like that, bro? I'm kind of iffy on that. Not me, but that can't be a coincidence. But she cracked the case.
Went partying for 6 days while leaving her 20-month-old daughter at home alone. Little Asaya Kuti was left to starve all by herself. As part of her 18th birthday celebrations, Verfi Kuti traveled to London and Coventry partying and acting like a carefree teenager. She left with her boyfriend on December 5, 2019, and didn't return home until December 11. CCTV covering Kuti's home showed she had left Asaya alone in the flat for 5 days, 21 hours and 58 minutes. Footage was uncovered of her dancing at a concert December 8th as the DJ announced her birthday. When she returned home, Kuti spent 3 hours in the flat before calling for emergency services and said her baby wasn't waking up. Sadly, nothing could be done to save Asaya. The autopsy concluded the cause of death was starvation and influenza, with reported signs of dehydration and severe nappy rash. Kuti first claimed she had been with her child at the flat all the time except for one visit she made with her to London. She later admitted to the manslaughter of her daughter 20-month-old Asaya Kuti. CCTV at the sheltered accommodation where she had been living in the months before showed 6 other significant occasions when Kuti had left her baby alone for hours at a time.
She had a history.
In August 2021, she was sentenced to 9 years in prison.
They just said,
Only 9 years in prison? I thought the punishment would be kind of harsher for that. It showed that she had a history before she did it again, and that's all she got? She acting like a freaking carefree teenager that resulted in the death of her own daughter, bro. Because she wanted to go out and party at London. And that's the punishment she got. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree with that punishment, bro?
we found Emily. She's dead. And I went, yes! I went, yes! And smiled. Because that is the best news of the possibilities that I knew. That was the best possibility that I was hoping for. She was either dead or in Gaza. And if you know anything about what they do to people in Gaza, that is worse than death. That is worse than death. The way they treat you. They'd have no food. They'd have no water. She'd be in a dark room filled with Christ knows how many people, and terrified every minute, hour, day, and possible years to come. So death was a blessing, an absolute blessing.
I am David Parker Ray, infamously known as the Toy Box Killer. During the 1990s in New Mexico, I committed heinous crimes involving kidnapping, sexual assault, torture, and suspected murder. My method involved using a custom-made trailer called the Toy Box, equipped with soundproofing and a chilling collection of torture tools. Together with my accomplices, we abducted women and subjected them to unimaginable physical and psychological torment within the confines of the trailer. Although no bodies were discovered, it is believed that I was responsible for multiple murders. In 1999, justice caught up with me and I received a sentence of over 224 years in prison. My crimes continue to haunt the annals of criminal history, representing a horrifying and deeply deeply disturbing chapter.
It's freaking crazy, bro. He made a freaking torture, his truck, a freaking torture chamber, man. So he's on the road. That's probably how he had that much freaking access to all those people, bro. 224 years, man. You know he must have. I don't know how many freaking victims he had, bro. Just bone chilling, man. The way that freaking people can like have that devious mindset, bro. Crazy. Tell me what you guys think down below.
Mommy told me something a little girl should know. It's all about the devil.
Do you see anything odd when you look at this image?
No.
This is the Lawson family, and they were all murdered by their father, Charlie Lawson. The only surviving member of the family was Arthur, the eldest of the siblings. It is said that Charlie took his family to town around Christmas to buy them new clothing for a family photo shoot, days prior to brutally murdering them and taking his own life. Theories ranged from mental illness, demonic possession, or an altered mental state due to a head injury. However, when an autopsy was conducted, there was no sign of any abnormalities.
So the only one who survived was the son. And they said they thought it was demonic possession, something was wrong with his head, something else, man, because he murdered like his wife and 6 of his kids, bro. What the axe, man? But they said there was nothing wrong when they did the autopsy, so did he just like snap? What the hell happened, man? Horrendous act, bro. Disgusting, man. I have to freaking look into that case, bro. You guys know the drill.
Believe it or not, this guy is known as the Demon Slayer. This man is Father Gabriel Amorth, and he was the chief exorcist at the Vatican and also the Pope's exorcist. So you know the amount of stuff he saw over the years was extremely messed up. Throughout his lifetime, he said that he's performed over 100,000 exorcisms. But he believes the amount of actual exorcisms that had a very demonic entity within someone is closer to 100. There was one particular story where he said a woman who was possessed by the devil regurgitated a radio right in front of him. He's also said to have seen people regurgitate things like pieces of glass, fingernails, and even keys. Another time, there was a man that was said to have been possessed by Lucifer himself and was levitating 3 feet off the ground. Throughout the exorcism, he was also said to have had his back arched like this for 20 entire minutes. Father Amorth also says the best representation he's ever seen of a true exorcism is that of the movie The Exorcist. He claims that people do show a lot of the symptoms shown in the movie The Exorcist, like their voices deepening and them talking in different languages. There was one particular case in Rome where a woman's exorcism was able to be filmed. She had already gone throughout 8 exorcisms, and the one being filmed was her 9th one. She was said to have been extremely violent and aggressive, swearing and speaking in different languages. She would also start convulsing, her eyes would roll to the back of her head, and she would start foaming at the mouth. I just did a full YouTube video on Father Amorth and the many exorcisms that he encountered throughout his life. The link is in my bio.
His name was the Demon Slayer, bro. Got a freaking interesting story, man. He did all his exorcisms, but even he knew, he said he only had probably close to 100 real ones, man. The thing that got me at the end was they said that they filmed her exorcism like 8 or 9 times, bro. She said she got some more footage on him, man, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out, bro. I've never seen that before, man. He must have known him, he must have witnessed a lot of freaking dark stuff, man, around that energy and crap and stuff like that, so he knows what he's talking about, he knows what he's doing. Tell me what you guys think down below about the Demon Slayer, man.
It came off the floor, or maybe a half inch, I should say, and I saw it slide off to the right, about 3.5 to 4 feet before it came to rest.
Remember the Conjuring 2 movie? I was shocked to find out this ghost story became a legit police report. Like the actual police witnessed the ghost in action. From the entire Enfield haunting, this police report was the most solid form of evidence in the entire case, making this ghost a criminal. To give a quick rundown, the Hodgson family had made several reports of their 11-year-old daughter Janet being supposedly possessed by a demon. After a few nights of continuous torture, the family broke down and alerted authorities. After going to the home, police officer Carolyn Heaps signed a document stating that she witnessed an armchair levitate and move across the room on its own. After the report, there were more than 30 witnesses all describing the same phenomenon. Though this case is supposedly controversial, do you think it was real?
Breaking news, grand jury documents now.
I mean, all those freaking cops, man, they put a legit report out. That's like my first time hearing about that, man. Like an actual police officer putting a legit report out saying that they saw like a freaking, I don't know, ghost or entity, something like that, like off the ground. And there was 2 of them in the interview, so it's kind of hard to make it like it's not believable. Definitely going to have to do some more research on this case, man. Like I said, these videos that we watch together, man, it's always up to you guys to do your own research. Like it's up to me. We're learning, we're expanding on all this together, man. Tell me what you guys think.
Revealed that the 2 surviving roommates were texting each other during the entire crime. This newly released information comes from the father of Kaylee. He received this information from an individual who served on the grand jury. In the original documents for the crime, it stated that the 2 surviving roommates were sleeping. However, it has now been revealed not only were they not sleeping, but they were texting each other methodically from room to room during the crime. Kaylee's father found the person who could explain the reason for this, but he was stopped from contacting them by the FBI. The witness had originally reached out to authorities through a tip line and was promised protection of their identity for volunteering the information. Kaylee's father was then warned about the legal consequences regarding tampering with a government witness. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
We've seen that case a couple of times with the videos we watched together, man, but it seems like the dad found out more information from the jury, so I don't know, like, can he use that, because, you know, I don't think he's supposed to be, like, talking to the jury like that. That's interesting. That's some interesting information that came to light. We gotta keep an eye on that.
Why do you think the other 2 got away? Listen, this is what I think. Steve, Kaylee's father, I believe he is right. Now, we're not going to truly know if he's right until trial comes up, but I believe he is right. That Kohlberger's going after one person, just one person. I believe Kohlberger surveillanced that home, figured a way that he was going to go in the house without being seen by others, because he had to know other people were there. There was cars out in front of the place, so he had to know. But he probably surveillanced the house, figured he can get up to her bedroom, without being seen. When he gets to the bedroom, there's another person in the bedroom. Okay? And then I think the other 2 may have heard the noises, or he heard them, or somehow. And that's why what happened to them happened. Honestly, that's what I believe. Then I believe he just got out of there and just left. Because he wasn't expecting to do all of that, he was just after one person. So I think that's why he got out of there, if that makes sense. I believe Kaylee's father is on the right track. I really do. What do you guys think? Am I off? Am I wrong? What do you guys think? I truly believe he was just going after one person. I really do.
Lucy Letby, on each of the 7 offences of murder and the 7 offences of attempted murder, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Because the seriousness of your offences is exceptionally high, I direct that the early release provisions do not apply. The order of the court, therefore, is a whole life order on each and every offence, and you will spend the rest of your life in prison.
Imagine getting married only to be pushed off a cliff 8 days later by your new wife. Jordan Graham met Cody Johnson eerily on Halloween 2011. The pair got engaged quite quickly in December 2012. Interestingly, they hired a professional songwriter for the wedding. Hearing the lyrics back now is incredibly disturbing. Everyone wants a safe place to fall, and you're mine. You helped me climb higher for a better view, and you're my safe place to fall. The pair married in June 2013. Guests noted that Jordan did seem a little off at the wedding. She seemed to be crying a bit too much when she was walking down the aisle. Close friends also claim that she sent them text messages the day after saying that she totally had a meltdown. 7 days later, Cody disappeared. His boss reported him missing when he didn't turn up for work. Police found it quite odd that his wife hadn't reported him missing. She explained that she just didn't know where he was, and the last she knew he'd gone out with friends. On July the 10th, she received an email about Cody. The email stated, "My name is Tony. There is no bother looking for Cody anymore. He is gone. I saw your post on Twitter and I thought I'd email you. He had come with some buddies and met up with me on Sunday night in Columbia Falls. He was saying he needed to be with his buddies for a bit and take them for a joyride. 3 of the guys came back saying that they had gone for a ride in the woods somewhere, and Cody got out of the car and went for a little hike, and they are positive he fell and he's dead, Jordan. I don't know who the guys were, but they took off, so call off the missing persons report. Cody is gone for sure. Tony." During a search the next day in a national park, Jordan seemed uninterested and very disengaged. Now, strangely, she stopped at a secluded bit of road and told police she just had a bad feeling about that area. Despite how dangerous the area was, she climbed over rocks and peered over the edge of the cliff. Miraculously, she'd found a body. Tragically, this was the body of Cody. Now, police were able to track that suspicious email from Tony to a computer at Jordan's parents' house. Finally, she admitted to pushing her husband off the cliff. She eventually accepted a plea deal for second-degree murder. She was given 30 years in prison.
Like, imagine you like marrying a wife that's supposed to be like one of the most happiest times of your life, I guess, for the husband, but it said that she had a meltdown, I guess, before the wedding. If she didn't want to go through with it, she could have just called it off, man. Instead, she couldn't take it no more and just freaking maybe it's out with her husband. She threw him over the edge, man. This side that Jen tried to send a message from Jordan's computer, trying to freaking throw off the search. Like, the message, the way it was worded, it sounded weird off the get-go, bro. And she did a horrendous act, man. Like, shit, you never know, man, who it can be. It can be your most loved one. It can be the ones you love the most, man, who can do tragic things to you, bro. Tell me what you guys think down below, man.
This cartel execution video that I'm about to explain might be the worst one out there. Before I begin, never go searching for this video. The video begins and you see the victim lying on the ground on his back with his hands tied and his shirt pulled over his head. He's surrounded by 3 to 4 cartel members, and one of the cartel members takes out a wooden stick or a plank and begins hitting the victim's feet with it. The video then skips and it shows the aftermath. His feet have been hit so hard by this blunt object that you can see blood leaking through his socks, and all throughout this you hear the victim's muffles of pain. The video then jump cuts again and they take the shirt off the victim's head and stuff his mouth with a gag. And at this point is where it gets truly disturbing. One of the cartel members takes a small knife and starts slicing off the victim's left ear. The sounds at this point are actually horrible. You can hear the victim trying to scream, but because he's gagged, it sounds like he's just snoring. And once the ear has been severed, they place it in his gagged mouth. The camera then pans to the victim's face, and despite the poor quality, you can still see the pain and fear in the victim's face. The video then jump cuts again, and the torture is not over. You see the cartel members hook up a car battery with some jump cables, and they then take the jump cables and electrocute the victim. They start by shocking his chest. You see the sparks flying, and you hear the victim letting out grunts of pain. They do this several times and also electrocute his face, which is just awful. The video then jump cuts again, and it shows the cartel putting the victim out of his misery. They behead him with a small knife that was used to cut his ear off. The victim is already dead at this point because they show you halfway through the dismemberment process, but it still shows them hacking and slicing away. The video then jump cuts again, and it shows that the beheading has been completed, and in the final moments of the video, they take the victim's head and balance it on his chest so that they can capture some photos on their phone. And after this, the video concludes. This video is extremely graphic, and I don't recommend you go searching for it. I'm telling you right now, it's just not worth it. This is just another video showing how cruel the world is that we live in, and how evil humans can be to one another.
Crazy, man. When they always explain those freaking cartel execution videos, I don't even see how people keep them. look those up, man. The things that people they said to be doing to them, man. I can't watch stuff like that, bro. I'm just screaming out. I don't like watching that type of thing, that type of content, or it's not even content, that type of freaking horrific acts, man. Tell me what you guys think down below. He used to drink so he could.
This is the story of Nadramo Ajay, aged 24, a pretty young lady who was killed by her would-be boyfriend who she went on a date with. The beautiful cosmetologist was killed by someone she went on a romantic date with. He spiked her drink hoping it would make it easy for him to have intercourse with her afterwards, but unfortunately, her body could not handle the potent level, making her experience cardiac arrest that she wasn't able to recover from, thereby killing her.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got pill, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me.
This case will be taking us to Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati is a city located in the southwestern part of the state of Ohio. Cincinnati is the largest metropolitan area in Ohio. It is a city of over 300,000 residents. Cincinnati is most known for its rich German heritage, unique chili, and as the origin of America's oldest baseball team. It's home to America's oldest baseball team, the Cincinnati Red Stockings, which was found in 1869. Nadramo Ajay was born on March 28, 1995 and was affectionately known by her friends as Nini or Awofejua. She was a young lady of Ghanaian descent who lived in the States. She is the daughter of Pastor Glitter Soa Ajay. She and her parents were based in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio. Nini was a popular person on all social media platforms. She was into beauty as a whole, but mostly spent her time as a hairstylist. She owned the salon called Idaho Styles. She showcased some of her handwork on social media.
Yeah. So cute.
She had a good business. She's gone.
Nini is also known to have trained as a pharmacy technician. She was said to be a very happy, outgoing, energetic, and sweet young lady.
The body of Ashley Pond was found in a box and ward.
Crazy, man. Like I said, when you're out, you always gotta be vigilant, bro. Like I said, he spiked your drink because he wanted to make it easier for him, but at the end, bro, he freaking murdered her, man, because he freaking spiked the drink, bro. As I said, when you're out, be careful, man. Cover your drinks. Don't freaking. You know, always drink with some other person try to get you something, man. If they try to get your drink, just be like, say, I get my own, because you never know the intentions, man. You guys know the drill.
Ward Weaver's shed, and the body of Miranda Gaddis was found buried under a concrete slab in his yard. Told you that Ward Weaver came from a long line of monsters. His father, Ward Weaver Jr., committed a very similar heinous act. In 1982, while working as a long-haul trucker, he stopped to help a couple whose car had broken down on the side of the road. He beat the boyfriend to death before taking the girlfriend to his house to do unspeakable things. He strangled her and had his son, Ward Weaver III, which is the Ward Weaver from the Ashley and Miranda story, he had him help bury the body, even though he was just 10 years old. He said that wasn't his first murder, and his truck logs match up with 24 unsolved murders along West Coast highways. And then his grandfather was also a monster. He regularly abused and essayed his wife, who was also weird. She made Ward Weaver Jr., the trucker's serial killer, sleep in the bed with her until he was 18, including on his wedding night. Talk about red flag. So he went on to be a possible trucker serial killer, and then her grandson went on to murder 2 preteen girls.
Whole line.
And then Francis Weaver on the left shot and killed someone in a robbery gone wrong. So do you think the murder gene is genetic or trauma? Comment your thoughts below, but back to our main story.
So while he was in jail for the act against his son's girlfriend and then the bodies were discovered, he was served with additional charges. There were a ton of charges, so I'm not going to go over all of them, but he did plead guilty. And the plea bargain allowed him to avoid the death penalty for what he did. Miranda's sister asked Ward Weaver in prison why he did it, and he said that he first murdered Ashley because he didn't want her to go to the police about what he'd done to her. And then one morning, Miranda was walking to the bus stop and saw him doing some of the cleanup. He told her that Ashley was in the house, and when she went into the house, he also killed her. So he's currently serving 2 life sentences, and his father is on death row. And the house in Oregon City ended up getting demolished. This is such an interesting and eerie story, and I hate to think what was going through Miranda's mind when she realized that she was with her friend's killer and she was next. Rest in peace to the both of them, that they deserved better, and let me know what you guys thought about the 2-part story format in the comments.
That's freaking crazy, man. It's like his whole line just littered with freaking people who did horrific acts, man. It goes to show you, man. I guess if you don't change, man, I guess how it can pass on, I guess, to another person, man. But like she said, is it genetics or is it like choices? That freaking blew my damn mind. It's really just like down the line from the grandfather to the father to the son. It was like perfectly dotted, bro. Tell me what you guys think, man, in the comment section down below about that case. Are these like evil minds or something in history? Some damn creepy vibes to him. YouTube, that's it, man, for this video for you guys today, man. Like I said, guys, in order for us to grow, man, I need you guys to hit that like button, subscribe button, man, so we can hit that algorithm even faster, man. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below, guys, what do you guys want to name my community? Like I said, by the end of this month, I want to have a name, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate the support. I know, man, that we can be big and we could grow together, so thank you guys for all the support you've been showing me on my videos. For now, guys, I'm catching the next one. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.